Okay, you all know my name. I'm Wale Olajumoke. And based on our poll that we did the last time, we agreed that we'll start with how to write a winning CV and job search techniques. Then our subsequent webinar, we'll look at um, job interview and how to advance your career with AI. Then our subsequent meeting again, we'll now look at understanding the business of your skill, which, like I said, this was my primary reason of sharing that poll. But since more people vote for CV, so we'll start with CV. Even though you know how to write CV already, you might still learn one or two things, or you might contribute to others who are beginners. So maybe doing when we are wrapping up, if you have any one or two things to chip in, so you are free to do that. So um, I thought of should we do goal setting, how to set goal for 2025. Maybe before we close, we can agree on that, or I will share that in the group if you are interested. So we'll look at how to set goal for 2025 and how to achieve your goal. So your goal maybe to get a job, your goal maybe to make more money, whatever your goal is. So I will use a coaching methodology. So I'm not just going to be teaching you how to achieve the goal. No, I'm going to engage you and help you see what can stop you from achieving that goal and what you can do to overcome them. So it's not going to be a general teaching because how you are going to achieve your goal will be different from how another person will achieve their goal because what is available to you might not be what is available to the other person. So like I said, we'll discuss that. So let's just focus on what we have for tonight. Um, I want it to be like an hour, but if I thought we extend maybe 2 hours at most, I don't like long teachings. So let's get started. So how to write a winning CV. I'm sure you know what a CV is, but oftentimes people ask me, how do they write it? So I think this is a good time for us to talk about it. Now, some of us that have been applying for job, I have not been getting the job, or they don't even call you for interview. The problem might be your CV. So as I'm picking those points, be noting down what you are doing wrong or what you need to improve on. And I have my reason why I don't write CV for people. Because CV is about you. Nobody should be able to tell about you on your behalf. You should be able to tell about yourself. If they even write the CV for you, at interview, you may not be able to defend the CV. But if you write it yourself, but somebody just help you to make contribution, that will be a better way of approaching it. As again, you just asking somebody to write the CV for you 100%. So that's why personally, I don't believe in writing CV for people. And that's why technically I don't do that. But we can teach you, we can guide you, which is what we are doing tonight. And after tonight, if you write your CV, you can send it to me. I will help you review it and tell you what to improve on, what to add, what to remove, what to adjust, and so on. Okay, with that said, let's move on. So what is a CV? So a CV is a comprehensive document detailing your entire career history, including your education, your work experience, your research, publication, awards, and other accomplishments. Now, some people may feel that, what does research have to do with me that I write, a web developer and so on? Don't worry. This is a formal definition of a CV. In real world, or most of the time, it is not CV you are meant to submit most of the time. But I will tell you why. But let's just go ahead. So I've talked about what a CV is. It's a document that details your career history, your education, your work experience, your research, your publication, your award, and other accomplishments that you have. So that's formal definition of a CV. Now, your CV is a marketing document. The way people do marketing, they do adverts. That's what your CV is. So it's a marketing document, like a proposal that that showcase your skill, your experience, and accomplishment in a way that align with the role you are applying for. So meaning that if you have several skills, you know software, you know DevOps, you know data analysis, you know everything, but you're applying for data analysis, that your CV that you're using to apply for data analysis should be tailored to that data analysis. So you should align it to that role. If you have done cleaning job before and you apply for data analysis, there's no relation between your cleaning experience. So you leave out those ones and pick the ones that align with what you want to do. So it's a marketing document. So how well you package the document, the better your chances. Sometimes people that may even get the job might not be as good as you are, but they present themselves better. See it as somebody that own a business and they want to pitch to an investor. So you have to, package it in a way that it will be appealing to those investors. So the same thing as your CV. They don't know you from Adam. They don't know whether you are good, whether you are a committed person. It is your CV that will make that they will use to judge you. So no matter how good you are or how passionate you are about the job, if you are not able to communicate effectively with your CV, you might not get the chance. And if you don't pass the CV stage, you are not likely to move to the next stage, which is the interview stage. So like I said, you might be good than even every other person, but because you don't communicate your value well, you might not, get the chance to move to the interview stage. So like I said, we'll do interview on another day. For now, you can ensure you perform well at interview. Now, we have what we call a resume. So this is what people submit most of the time. So a resume is a concise, tailored document summarizing your skill, your work experience, your education, relevant to a specific job. So CV is more comprehensive, more elaborate. And you use CV most of the time for academic purpose, research purpose, or medical field. That's where you use CV most of the time. But for tech jobs, data analysis and the likes, you submit a resume most of the time. So I'm differentiating between resume and CV. The similarity, sorry that I'm moving back and forth. The similarity is that they both have to do with your skill, your work experience, your education. So they both have to do with your skill, your experience, and your education. But the difference between them is that a resume should be 1 or 2 pages. It's not something that will be too long. It's like a summary, a condensed version, a summarized version. But for CV, it can be as much as 2 to 10 pages or even more than 10 pages. So that's why I said most of the time you will not use a resume because nobody will have time to, you will not use a CV rather, because nobody will have time to go through your 10 pages. But if it is for the purpose of academic, research, medical field, then you can submit even more than 10 pages. So I hope that clarifies the difference between resume and a CV. Of course, they may call it CV, but I'm telling you that in the real sense, there's difference between CV and resume. But people interchangeably, use them together. They call resume CV, they call CV resume. But you know that there's difference between the two. And you know that the one that you'll be submitting most of the time is your resume. Except, like I said, if it is for academic purpose, research purpose, or medical field. But if it's for tech jobs and the likes, resume is fine. So, designed for easy readability and quick scanning. So when you submit your resume, you should be able to quickly scan, within few seconds, you should be able to know who you are, what you can do, and if you're a good fit. If your CV is so cumbersome that it will take them like 5 minutes to know about you, then they will just put it aside and just move to the next person. And these days, they may not even go through your CV physically. It may be computer that will filter out those that qualify and those that do not qualify. Just like Facebook, when you post, they will say your post is against our community standard. It's not human being that is doing it, it's robots. Because they have told the robots what to look out for. Even though what you posted may be genuine, the robots see it as not genuine. So the same way, even though your CV, you're a fantastic person, the right person for the job, if your CV does not communicate that, the robot will put you aside. And I'm going to tell you what and what you should put in place to ensure that you pass the robot check. And if it's a human being that's going to check it as well, what I'm going to share with you will be helpful to you. So within few seconds, you should be able to know what to do. If you are the right person, they should hire for the job based on how you present your CV. But for that's resume, but for CV, it should be more detailed and exhaustive, and I've explained that. You should tailor your resume for each specific job application. So if you're applying for a job in a bank or in an oil and gas or in a fintech or in a startup, how you write your CV might be a little bit different because of the expectation of those industry. So that's why it may not be a good idea to just have one CV that you're submitting in all cases. Sometimes I need to tweak it a little so that it can be a best fit for the industry or the organization you are applying to. Example, if you're applying as a software developer to high companies like maybe Google, Microsoft, and so on, you need to include things that will appeal to them, like data structure, algorithm, and so on. But if you're applying to maybe small businesses, you don't even care about data structure and algorithm and things like that. So that's why I said sometimes I need to tweak your CV. So you should tailor it to a specific job you're applying for. That's for your resume. Then, but for CV, it's almost the same because it's like a comprehensive, elaborate history about you. So for the one that are up to 10 pages and the likes, so that one might not need tweaking. But the resume that you're going to be using, for tech jobs, you might need to tweak it where necessary. Publication, you don't need publication for resume, but for CV, you need it, especially if it is applicable for your use case. So most times you don't need publication for resume. Only relevant certification. So if you have 500 certification, you don't have to put all the 500. Like I said, depending on what you're applying for, only put the one that is relevant. But for CV, you need to put all your certifications. For resume, include projects that are of interest. But for CV, you need to include all your awards, all your research, all your different body that you are affiliated to. You need to include them in a CV. So I believe this differentiate between resume and CV. And I believe it's clear. So if you have questions on this, just note them down. When it's time for question and answer, I will take it up. And I hope I'm not too fast. So you can respond via chat if you don't want to talk. Hope I'm not too fast.
It's okay, sir.
All right. So let's move on. So what are the do's and don'ts of a CV? While there's nothing cast in stone, what I mean by nothing cast in stone is that you can be flexible. You don't have to follow what I'm saying, hook, line, and sinker, or the idea somebody will share with you might differ from my own. So what I'm saying is not cast in stone. However, most of the time, what I'm sharing with you is the ideal. But like I said, if you want to be flexible, it's fine. So what are the do's and the don'ts you should bear in mind when writing a CV? I'll give you a sample of a CV, don't worry. But let's just learn about the fundamentals first. So the do's, the things you should do. Number one, customize your CV for each job. I've said that earlier, which is your skill, your experience. Let it be relevant to the role you're applying for. Number two, use job-related keywords. This one is very, very important. Like I said earlier, it might be robots that will mark your CV. Now, when you see job application and they give you job description, someone that know data analysis, Excel, Python, Power BI, SQL, NumPy, Pandas. By the time you're writing your own CV, all those keywords, put them in your own CV as well. If they say Kubernetes, Terraform, Ansible, put those keywords in your CV as well. So that if they're using robot to mark your CV, the robot will see all those things there and it will pass your CV. So no matter how good you are, if those keywords are not there, we call it ATS, Applicant Tracking System. So that's the system that Coda use to screen your CV instead of having to go through all of them one by one. Because going through 2,000 CV might be, overwhelming. So you need to put those keywords. And even if it is human that is going to go through the CV, if the human see all those keywords that they put in the job description in your CV, it will connect, better with them. Let me just use this funny example. See a guy that wants to, propose to a lady, and the lady likes somebody that is calm, that is intelligent, and the likes. By the time you approach the lady, I'm sure you want to present yourself as somebody that is calm and somebody that is intelligent, because that's what appeals to the lady. So the same way with your CV, let it have those keywords that the employer or the recruiting firm are expecting to see. Use a clean, consistent layout with clear heading, bullet points, and readable fonts. So when you're writing your CV, ensure that you don't have New Times Roman at the beginning. At the middle, you have Arial. At the bottom, you have Calibri. At the end, you have Gorgia. That will look very annoying. So ensure that there's consistency. So if you're using Arial, use Arial all through. If you're using Calibri, Times New Roman, Gorgia, ensure that you are consistent with it. 2, instead of writing in paragraphs, write in bullet points. I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Put them in bullet points. You make it easy to digest. Look at what I'm presenting to you now. You can add the bullet points help you to be able to see my thoughts. As against me not putting bullet points and put them like a story. You can't now be going into the story and be picking out information. It's going to be very overwhelming for the person. So put them in bullet points. Then have a clear heading. Education, let it be clear. Then they know that these are your education. Projects, they know these are your projects. Experience, they know these are your experience. Skills, so let that be heading that separates each section so that it is easy to digest or scan through. So like I said, let that be readable fonts. So don't use fonts that are very artistic, that be difficult to read. To you, it might look fancy, but what matters is them understanding what you are writing. So it's not about how fancy you are designing it. Clearly divide section with heading, like I said. So you can have a section about your personal detail, about your profile summary. A section that summarizes about you, your work experience. Some people will say that, oh, I just finished the training. How do I have work experience? I'm going to talk about that. Your education, the skills you have, your achievements, if any. Use proper margin and white space. Let that be white space. Don't make everything cumbersome without spaces. So let it be readable. At a glance, I should be able to read, with ease. So bear that in mind. Keep it concise. 1 or 2 pages is okay. Because like I said, most of the time you'll be submitting a resume, even though it might be called CV. So 1 or 2 pages is fine. So it shouldn't be too long, except it is necessary. Like I said, it's not cast in stone, but I'm telling you what is ideal. Now, proofread your CV multiple times, or let someone else, who is somebody that is attention to detail, let the person review it for you. Because you can go through your CV 10 times and you will not see any error. But when you give it to another person, in fact, that person will just go through that. How come you put this type of error here? So you might need to give it to somebody else to look at it for you. So that, because if you put attention to detail and I'm seeing typo errors, it shows you don't have attention to detail. So that's why it's important that you should proofread it. And people are different. That's some, HR that typo error can put them off. So they may not even consider all that skill that you have. Just mean that for this person not to even pay attention to what he's writing, I'm sure that I will pay attention when we hire the person. So it's very, very important to proofread and even let somebody else, look at it for you. There's a spell check, all of that I can use to check spellings. Begin bullet point with action verb. So when you put it in bullet point, each bullet point should start with action verb, like developed a content management system, implemented an end-to-end CI/CD, analyzed a sales data, led a team of 5 to build a machine learning solution, optimized infrastructure for a fintech organization. So use those action verbs for your bullet points when you're talking about things you have done. Save your CV as a PDF. Somebody who might be listening to me here suggested that she was advised to use Microsoft Word. Personally, I'm advising you to use PDF. And like I said, my advice might be different for what another person advised you to do. I'm recommending you should use PDF. Why? If you use Microsoft Word, number one, the font you use, if it's not available on the person's computer, your CV will be scattered. But if it is PDF, even if the person have the font or not, it does not matter. It's PDF is like a picture, it cannot scatter. So that's one of the primary reasons why you should use a PDF instead of Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word, somebody can easily edit it and put their brother's name there. But if it is PDF, it is compact, so it cannot be easily edited. So there may be other, benefit, but I prefer you use a PDF for your CV. And also, if it is stated that you should submit your CV in Word document, that one is, expressly stated. But if it's not stated, I recommend you use a PDF. Use professional file name. So don't say my CV when you are sending your CV, because other people might say my CV, and when they download your own my CV, and another person my CV can overwrite your own my CV. That's one. Two, because you save it as my CV and there are many my CVs, it will not easily locate your own. But when you save it as Wale Olajumoke CV, no other person is likely to be Wale Olajumoke. So that way, my CV will stand out from other people that save their own as CV up and down. So use your name to save your CV instead of my CV or just CV. Include a subject and meaningful body. People have applied for job, even with us at Tech365. No subjects, no body. They just attach the CV and send it. That is a very, very bad way of applying for job. Write a meaningful subject. Application for the position of data analyst. Apply for the position of DevOps engineer, or whatever your subject is. Then in the body, summarize about you there. Good day, good afternoon. My name is Wale Olajumoke. I am writing to apply for the position of software developer as advertised on LinkedIn or wherever you get to know. I am this and this and this and this. I'll talk about all of that. So put that summary there. I have attached below my CV. I look forward to hearing from you. Something like that. So it doesn't have to be something too long, but let it be something that is convincing. And if you don't know what to type, ask ChatGPT. I'm applying for the job of data analyst, DevOps engineer, cybersecurity, mobile app developer, or whatever you're applying for. Then let it generate the body of the email for you. Then you go over it and see if there's anything you should adjust. Then you do that. Regularly update your CV. Some people, your CV was last updated 4 years ago, and you want to use it to apply for a job after 4 years. So you might need to be updating it from time to time. Share your CV with trusted mentors, peers, or career advisor for constructive feedback. When you get a feedback about your CV, don't take it personal. Don't feel that, the person even rubbish my CV. No. What the person talk about, is it something you can improve on? If yes, do it. And some people always hide their CV. They don't want to share with anybody so that they will not say any bad thing about the CV. Is it not better for Mr. Wale to say bad thing than the employer to say bad thing? If me, I say bad thing, you can correct the bad thing so that when the employer sees it, it becomes good thing. So don't feel bad that if I share my CV with somebody, they will say bad thing about the CV and it will discourage you. No. The goal of even sharing it so that it can help you see where to improve on. So don't feel insecure that sharing it, you may say bad thing about it. So what are the don'ts? We have talked about the do's. What are the don'ts? Now, like I said, these are not cast in stone. I am recommending that you should not include your age, your religion, or your marital status. However, if the role require such, then you can put it. Why am I saying you should not put religion? Some people are biased about people's religion, so that might be why you should leave it out. Some people might be biased about age, especially if you are someone that is very old. So maybe you feel that you're advanced in age, so you might just leave it out. If they need your age, when they interview you, they can ask. But why you should leave it out is because if they are impressed with your CV, by the time you come for interview, they already like it to some extent. So hearing about your age might not necessarily be, a disadvantage per se, except they have stated it in the description that we don't want somebody above so age. But even if you're above the age and you still feel you want to apply, fine. But like I said, things like your religion, you can leave out all of that. Avoid colorful design, graphics, and non-standard layouts. Now, there are some graphic CV that people, templates that are out there. If you're not applying for graphic design job or web design job, leave out all those, too much graphics. Just do something clean and presentable. Avoid colorful, trying to. I've seen some people apply for job, even with 3365. They use colorful backgrounds and so on. They now printed it out in black and white. So you that wrote a black ink on a green background, by the time you print it out in black and white, it will not look nice. So that's why if you make it plain, it will be more presentable. Avoid including skill and experience you don't possess. One of us, the person might not be listening to me here, I've shared a CV with me, and he included so many things that I know he does not have the skill. So I asked him, do you know this? Do you know that? He said no. Then I was like, then why are you adding them? Because if you add them, it might even be something that will pique their interest. I said, okay, tell me more about this. When you have used it, before now. I cannot say. So that might even rubbish all other things I've been saying. So as much as you want your CV to be full, put what you know. If you know that you want to put 3 other things and you don't know them, go and learn them. If you don't know them in detail, at least have an idea about them. So that when they ask you, at least you can say one or two, you can say, okay, I've used it for this and this. That's your use case that you have used them before. So don't go and put many things in the name of I want it to be impressive. Meanwhile, you cannot defend it when they ask you questions. Avoid abbreviation, slang, casual phrases, and jargon. So don't say ASAP, all those slangs, abbreviations. Make it professional. If you're chatting with your friend, you are free to use slangs and all of that. But when you are writing CV, because there are some HR, they are very picky. Little things like abbreviation can put them off. So try and avoid it. I also have rejected somebody based on that as well. I want to hire you for the position of a secretary, and everything is abbreviation, up and down. So that means if you are talking to customer, you're going to be doing all of that as well. So keep the slangs for when you're talking with your friend in an informal setting. Don't forget your contact details. Somebody have done this before. When I interview on behalf of a particular organization, I was looking for the person's phone number, is nowhere to be found. Or was it the email I was looking for? At least one of them. So I had to now use that phone to contact the person or the email to contact the person to get the person's phone. So ensure your phone, your email. Now, LinkedIn is optional, it's not a must. But if it's going to be a plus for you, why not? You can include your LinkedIn. So ensure that they will not find it difficult to locate how to contact you, because the purpose of submitting the first place is so that they can reach you. Avoid misleading email address, sexymama@gmail.com. It might look funny to you. I've seen email like that. You are not applying for the position of a porn star. So avoid email that can be misleading. Or it might even be a guy as well. I don't know an example because I don't use such slang. I use Wale Olajumoke@gmail.com. That's straight, no misleading information there. If you cannot use your full name, at least let it be something meaningful. So those are some of the don'ts you should try and avoid in your CV. So how should you structure your CV? So we can start with profile summary. So this gives like a summary about you. So before they go through the 2 pages, at least in 1 or 3 lines, they already know who you are. So write a brief introduction, 3 or 4 lines, summarizing your career goal, your key skills, and your achievements. Example, you can say something like, now, for the example I'm giving you, don't be using them word for word. They are just for reference purpose. You can adjust them to suit your need. Because if you use them word for word and they ask you about them and you're not able to say it, that's just on a lighter note, but just try and adjust them to your needs. So you can say something like detail-oriented data analyst with experience in leveraging data insights to drive business decisions. Proficient in Power BI, Python, and SQL. Passionate about problem solving and delivering actionable insights to enhance performance. Even if I don't know you from Adam, I can see here that you are someone that is detail-oriented, you have experience working with data, you are proficient in Power BI, in Python and SQL, and you're passionate about solving problems and delivering insight that improve performance. So this 4 lines summarize about you. If I don't want to know more about maybe your education or the project you have done, they can now go further down to read about that. So this helps you to just give them elevator pitch, a quick summary of what and what the CV entail. Now, focus on achievement, not duties. I work as a data analyst at Tech 365, and you just move to another one. That has not communicated anything. When you work as a data analyst at Tech 365, what and what did you do? So you can use the STAR method. I've said this in our previous session before, but if you miss it, you are learning it now. So the STAR method talk about the situation you have handled. So what task did you perform in that situation? What action did you take? And what is the result? So when you say you work at social organization, pick those organizations and use the STAR method to talk about your accomplishments, then quantify your achievement. Don't just say, I help them to improve their website. That doesn't say much. Even you yourself, if you say something, if you want to hire, and 2 people say, I built an e-commerce website. Another one said, another person says that I built an e-commerce website that helped the company to increase their revenue by 30%. Even you yourself, who do you think you give attention to more? The one that break down how what he did was helpful. So even though you might not have that at the moment, whatever you are doing going forward, always have this in mind. Any project you are doing, ask yourself, how does this project help the business? So I want to create a CI/CD pipeline. So that will help them to save time. So you can cut deployment time by 40%. Or you can paste those things you have done and tell ChatGPT that how can you quantify it? In case you still need, how it should be written. But what I'm not trying to say is that talk about situation, the task you perform, the action you took, and the result. So here's an example. Increase sales revenue by 25% within 6 months by developing an effective data-driven sales strategy. Again, I can't talk about all use cases, but just use this to your own use case. And when I talk about the CV example, it will be more tailored to your own need. So if you feel that I'm just talking about other example, I'm not using more of your own example, don't worry. When we're looking at CV example, you will see your own example there. Now, highlight relevant skills. So you should have hard skills, which is technical skills, and soft skill, which is non-technical skill. So for your hard skill, it might be programming skill, analytical skill, design skill, and so on. Your soft skill might be teamwork, leadership, effective communication, things that are not tech related. So you should highlight both. Now, you can group those skills under subcategory for better organization. Example, I can say my technical skill is AWS, Terraform, Python, Ansible, Jenkins. Those are technical skills. But my non-technical skill, which is soft skill or interpersonal skill, are team leadership, effective communication, and so on. So this way, they know that you're not just somebody that press computer alone. You can also, you are relatable as well. And you can lead a team. In case they hire other people after you, you can provide leadership for them. And again, don't say leadership when you know you cannot lead other people, because they might ask you things, question in that area. And if you cannot defend it, it might make you to start getting agitated. Structure experience logically. I've seen several CV, they will put their primary school first, followed by their secondary school. No. Put your recent education first or your recent qualification first. The same way for your job, put your recent job first. Don't start with the job you did 15 years ago, then followed by 10 years ago. No. Start with the recent job, then followed by the old ones. So then you can have your job title, the company name, the location of the company. So you can say something like data analyst, Tech 365. Then location will be Lagos. Then date of employment, don't have to pick specific dates. Then you can just put November 2023, something like that. Or 2023, the year. So just as applicable. Then bullet point describing your achievement, the things you do while you are with Tech 365, the project you worked on, and the relevance of that project to the organization. Education and certifications. Include your degrees, your institution, and graduation dates. Highlight relevant certifications, especially if they are required for the role. If they are required and you have them, put them. If they are not required and you don't have them, no cause for alarm. So example, certified data scientist by from MIT in 2023. Now, certificate of completion is different from certification. All those Coursera you are doing, they are certificate of completion. Certificate is certificate of completion. Certification are usually like from companies like Microsoft, AWS. Those are the ones that offer certification. For DevOps, you have Docker, you have Terraform, you have Kubernetes. For data analytics, you have Microsoft Power BI analyst or business intelligence certification. So don't call certificate of completion certifications. They are two different things. But you can put certificate of completions there. It's okay. It's not inferior. I'm just saying that know the difference between the two. And don't write 35 certification Tech 365. 35 do not certify. We only train you to have hands-on skill, and we give you certificate of completion. So if you want certification, you can do exams from Microsoft, AWS, and so on. And the same is applicable for all the certificates you get from Coursera and all of that. They are not certification, they are certificate of completion. So you can include extra section, like if you have volunteering experience, if you have projects you have done. Now, languages are not necessary, but if you are applying to organizations that are abroad, maybe a German company and you know German, or a French company and you know French, of course, in that case, language will be useful or valuable if you have more than one language. But not like Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa. What concern a foreign company with your Igbo and Yoruba and Hausa? But like I said, if you know other foreign language like Mandarin and you're applying to a Chinese company, of course, it will be a plus for you. Now, hobbies should be left out, except they contribute to your chances. Example, if I say my hobby is providing support for other junior developers or other junior analysts, that one is relevant because now showing that I'm even a leader to other people. So that kind of hobby is necessary. But if your hobby is sleeping, playing Ludo, that does not make sense. But if your role is requiring you that you should travel and your hobby is traveling, that can make sense. I hope you get my point. So let's now look at some samples Like I said, an hour should be done. So we've done 40 minutes. So what are some samples of CV that we can look at? So let's look at them. So I have some sample here. So let's start with data analyst, since we have more of data analyst here. Then afterwards, we look at other ones. So here's an example of a CV for data analyst. So your name should be in bold form, like so that at a glance, they can know who owns this CV. Then you can follow it by your address, by your phone number, by your email, by your LinkedIn, which is optional, and by your GitHub, which is optional as well. But if there will be a plus, include them so that they can click to see your LinkedIn profile or to see your source code on GitHub. Now, if you are a software developer, I know that you have done some to-do apps, some beginner app. If possible, remove those ones, make them private. The ones that will be there should be the ones that are relevant. Relevant in the sense that there will be a plus to you. Because if I want to hire you and I'm seeing to-do app, I will see as somebody that is still starting up or that is just watching YouTube. But if I'm seeing e-commerce software, social network, hotel management system, customer management system, school portal, that shows me that this person has done something solid. So I hope you get that. The same thing for data analyst. Let it be something valuable. Example, analysis of sales data, analysis of Uber data, something relevant. Now, to do app is not useless, but I'm saying that for your learning purpose, fine. But for job purpose, put something more, more relevant. I still go apply for senior role and they are putting to do app in, so it just put me off. I didn't even bother going through other ones. So this is the job summary, profile summary I've talked about earlier. So you can see insightful and result-driven data analyst. Now, of course, with 4 years experience, if you don't have that 4 years experience, just remove this part and say something like insightful result-oriented data analyst with experience in interpreting, analyzing complex data sets with to drive business decisions. So you can see how I coin it. Result-driven data analyst with experience in, so if you don't have the 4 years or whatever, remove that one and just, it still makes sense. With experience in so. Proficient in data visualization, statistical analysis, and predictive modeling using tools like Power BI, Python, and SQL. Adept at delivering actionable insight to optimize processes and improve performance in fast-paced environments. The reason why I said I should not use this one word for word is if 4 of you listen to me, apply for the same job, and they say that I just wrote the same thing word for word, you might leave them confused. So, but if you tweak it, those that copy each other, you will not follow them, like lecturer that is marking results and see, marking script and see that people that, copy their own essay. So tweak it to your own need. So you can see skills, that one stands out. And I use this line to separate them. You can do that as well so that I make it easy to digest. So technical skill, soft skill. So under technical skill, you put all your Power BI, your Python, and all of that. Under programming, Python and SQL. Under cloud, Azure. If you know it. If you don't know it, just stick to the one you know. But for those that know cloud, you can put it. Soft skill, critical thinking, problem solving, communication, team collaboration. So these are non-technical skill. Work experience, you can see the role, the organization, the location, and the period. And you can see how I put what was done in bullet points. And you can see analyzed, action verb, automated, conducted. I can see how they were quantified, 18%, 40%, 25%. So analyze and visualize sales data using Power BI, identifying trends that increase revenue by 18%. Collaborated with cross-functional teams to design dashboard, improving decision-making processes. Automated data extraction process using Python, reducing report preparation time by 40%. Conducted predictive analysis to forecast inventory needs, minimizing overstock by 25%. So this makes it tailored to solving problems. So you're not just writing the CV just for writing sake. You're making them to see that I can solve problem for your organization. Then another experience, so you put that as well, the organization and the period. Then you also talk about you clean and process large data sets, design interactive dashboard with Power BI to monitor KPI to increase user engagement. You conducted A/B testing to evaluate market strategies, leading to 20% conversion rates. You train 5 team members on SQL and Excel, improving the overall team's technical capabilities. So this shows that you have leadership skill. So some of you that when you are in class, you normally teach your fellow students. You can put it there. It's part of your experience. Of course, you may not say that it is when you are in class. So you can just say something like, train 3 other team members on SQL and Power BI, to improve the team performance. Then your education. So be a Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Now, of course, with time, you now have real experience. So you can start adjusting your CV with those your real experience. Then again, you can also use volunteering. In case you don't have job, you can volunteer to gain experience so that you can put it in your CV to apply for the job that will pay you what you desire. So you put your education there. Then if you have any certification, you put them. If you don't have certification, put certificate of completion and put all those certificates that you have, there. So certified data scientist, Microsoft Power BI data analyst associate, SQL for data science, so you put all of that. Then projects that you have completed, sales trend analysis dashboard, the tools you use, and the action you perform. Then another project, the tool and the action. Another project, the tool and the action. Then your achievement, if any. So you can state your achievement here. Then your interest, if it will be relevant. So you can say, I'm a data-driven problem solving, machine learning, business intelligence, and mentoring, aspiring data analysis. So those are your interests. So then you can also talk about blogging about data analysis, sharing my knowledge with junior data analysts, or sharing insights on YouTube on data analysis, or sharing insight on LinkedIn to educate the public about data analysis, things like that. So I believe this gives you an overview of how to write your CV as a data analyst. So let's look at other ones. So let's look at software development, then we'll look at DevOps. So this is software development. If you observe, I changed the fonts. So you can use a font that appeal more. So the upper parts are similar. So you can see that the profile summary here is different. Enthusiastic and highly skilled full stack web developer with experience building scalable, user-friendly web application. Proficient in front-end and back-end development, expertise in JavaScript, React, Python, Django, and database management. Added at delivering robust, responsive, and high-performance solutions to meet business needs. Passionate about solving complex problems and working in agile teams. If you don't know what agile team is and you are putting it, at interview when they ask you, you will not be able to answer. So put what you know you can defend. So your skill, front-end development, HTML, CSS, Tailwind, this should be Tailwind CSS, one word. Then JavaScript and React. The back-end development, Python and Django. Database management, MySQL and Postgres. Other tools and technology, RESTful API, Git, Docker, AWS. If you know them, if you don't know them, just take them out. Your soft skill, communication, problem solving, team collaboration. Your experience, full stack developer at Tech365, then match to present. Design and develop fully responsive web application using React.js and Python, enhancing user engagement by 35%. Using RESTful API for backend development, improve database performance, integrated third-party services, lead team developer in adopting agile practices. Like I said, if you don't know any of these things, you can go and learn them so that you'll be able to defend them if you are asked. Then you put any other role you have. Then your education, you put that. Your relevant certificate. You can see this is not certification. This is relevant certificate. So then full stack web development certificate, not certification. So then you put the company name. Then any other certificate you have. There are free certificates by Harvard, another by Google. So you can just take their certificate course and just put them here. Then the project you have done, e-commerce platform, the description of it and the technology that you use, social media, the description and the technology, content management, description and technology, then your achievements, if any, you put it, your interest, web performance optimization, open source contribution, cloud integration, mentoring aspiring developers. So if you have questions, during question time, I'm going to take them. I hope you are noting them down. If you have your CV, you can share that with me. I'll help you to review them. So let's do DevOps. I don't know if you have anybody here with cybersecurity and mobile app. If you have, let me know so that I can go through. If not, I can just move on. So for DevOps, so the similar way, your title and your contact detail, then your summary, dynamic and results-oriented DevOps engineer with experience in automating, optimizing, and managing mission-critical infrastructure, proficient in CI/CD pipeline, cloud platform, so you specify AWS. If you know Azure, you can put it. Configuration management tools and containerization, known for enhancing system reliability, reducing deployment time, and fostering collaboration between development and operation teams. Then your skills, automation tool, Jenkins, cloud platform, AWS, EC2, S3, VPC, RDS. Then if you know Azure, you can put it. Infrastructure as code, Terraform and Ansible, coordination and orchestration, Docker and Kubernetes, monitoring and logging, Prometheus and Grafana, programming and scripting, Python, Bash script and YAML, version control, Git and GitHub. Then your soft skill, problem solving, team collaboration, communication and troubleshooting. Then your work experience. So those projects you have done, then you put them here. DevOps engineer, Tech365, the period, then the CI/CD pipeline that you created, the facade that you deployed, that you automated, optimization of monitoring. Yes, you can put like demo link on CV. So for example, if I build e-commerce, I can put the link to the e-commerce. So you can put live link of your project. But please click that link before you submit that CV. Because people have done that. I'll click. Out of 5 links, only one is working. There's no need putting links when you know they will not work. So test those links before you put them. So job, junior DevOps engineer in the organization, manage AWS infrastructure, including C2, S3, RDS to ensure high availability and performance, automated server configuration with Ansible, reducing manual error and deployment time, assisted in containerizing application using Docker, improving environment consistency, monitor and troubleshoot using Prometheus and Grafana, collaborated with developers to implement version control, best practices using Git. Then you put the education there, relevant certification or certificates of completion, then project that you have done, automated CI/CD pipeline, the tools and what you did, cloud infrastructure as code, the tools and what you did, Kubernetes cluster deployments using Kubernetes and Docker, and how you go about it. Then if you have achievements you have attained, you put them. Then your interest, then you can specify them here as well. So that's fine. So I don't know if we have a cybersecurity and mobile people here. So let me just, okay, yes, we have cybersecurity, all right. So for cybersecurity, so the upper part is similar, like I said earlier. So for profile, dedicated and detail-oriented cybersecurity specialist with experience in protecting sensitive data and ensuring system security. So you can say, I skip that 5 years. Proficient in identifying vulnerabilities, implementing security solutions, and educating teams on best practices. Adept at working with advanced tools like firewall, endpoint protection to ensure robust defense mechanism. Again, put what you know here. These are just examples. Then skills, technical and soft skill. Security tools, Wireshark, Nessus, Metasploit, Bobsuit. Data analyst people are wondering what I'm saying, but the cyber people, we understand each other. Threat analysis and response, vulnerability assessment, pen testing, incident response. Cybersecurity framework, then specify the framework that you know. Cloud security tools, AWS security, Azure security, programming and scripting, Python, Bash, PowerShell, networking, TCP, IP, DNS, VPN, firewall, IDS, IPS. You are meant to know networking than other people, so you should put your networking tools here. Then soft skill, problem solving, analytical thinking, communication, team collaboration. Then your work experience, cybersecurity specialist, Tech 365, conducted regular vulnerability assessment and potential tests, identifying and mitigating critical risk. Don't put it there if you not do it. So I can give you our website, do potential testing on it, and let me know the outcome so that I can put it on your CV. Then implement real-time monitoring and detection, design and enforce security policies and reducing security breaches by 0%. Train over 50 staff members on cybersecurity awareness, increasing compliance rates by 40%. Monitor and responded to security incidents, minimizing downtime and data loss. Assisted in monitoring network traffic and identifying anomalies using IDS and IPS tools. Supported implementation of firewall and endpoint protection solution. Conducted phishing simulation and trained employee on email security best practices. Documented and reported security incidents, helping improve the organization incident response plan. You can even volunteer to do free introduction to cybersecurity training for organizations, for NGOs, for any organization that you can reach out to. Teach them how to analyze data using Excel. Of course, to be introductory, it doesn't have to be something elaborate. Teach them about DevOps. It might just be 1, 2, maybe what is DevOps, and then just simple application of DevOps. So that you can put it in your CV that you've conducted DevOps training for organization, just to let them know that you know this thing, and it will be a plus, to your CV. Then put your education there, relevant education that you have, CISSP, Cyber Certified Ethical Hacker, CH, CompTIA Security, AWS Certified Security, any of them that you have, you can put them. The project that you have worked on, security audits, the tools you use, cloud security implementation and the tools you use, incident response plan, then any achievements you have, if you have any, then your interests, ethical hacking, cloud security, threat intelligence, cybersecurity mentorship. So I hope this is helpful. I'm not skill shaming you, data analysis. So then for mobile app, so at the same similar way, innovative and data-oriented mobile app developer with experience in designing, developing, and deploying robust and user-friendly mobile application. Proficient in cross-platform and native development using tools like Flutter, React Native, Kotlin, Swift, integrating APIs, ensuring smooth performance, and delivering projects that meet business objectives. Then your skill, Flutter, Dart, React Native, Java, Kotlin, Swift, Objective-C. Of course, if you don't know these other ones, leave them out. Just put the one you know. Then mobile tools and library, Firebase, Redux, Blocks, Room, Core Data, API, RESTful API, GraphQL, Node.js, database, SQLite, MySQL, MongoDB. Tools and version control, Xcode, Android Studio, Git. Soft skill, problem solving, team collaboration, communication, troubleshooting. Troubleshooting, that should be technical skill. Or you can put it, since you have problem solving skill here. So that should also serve for that. Then work experience, mobile developer. Then what are the things you have done? Design and develop 10 cross-platform apps using Flutter and React Native, improving customer engagement by 40%. Collaborated with UI UX design team to build intuitive, responsive, and visually appealing interfaces. If they ask you, can we see those interfaces, and they are not visually appealing, you have shot yourself in the leg. So ensure you can defend what you are saying. Optimize app performance by implementing efficient state management using Block, integrated third-party APIs, including Google Map, Stripe, Firebase. Deploy app to Play Store. You have to show them the Play Store app. Then your role and what you did from when to when, your education and certificate that you have attained, the project that you have done, you specify them here, and the technology that you use. Then if you have the link, you can put the link so that they can click and see them live. Then your achievements, then your area of interest. So I believe I've covered different samples. Okay, so let's talk about frequently asked questions. Some of these questions are what you're likely to want to ask me, so I'm answering it ahead of time. Then the one I did not answer, then you can ask me. So what should I include in my CV? By now, you should know that. So let's make it interactive. So who can tell us from what I've said so far? What should you include in your CV? Give us one. Anybody? What should you include in your CV? I mentioned several things.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Just mention it.
Okay, so most important, your email address, phone number, your skill, qualification, experience, projects that you have done, basically things that you can defend relevant to the particular, okay, for CV. CV encompasses everything, but if it's for resume, it should be tailored towards the particular role you're applying for.
Excellent. Excellent. So should have your contact detail, your profile summary, the skills you have, your work experience, your education, your project that you have done, certificate of completion or certifications. So those are the things you should include in your CV. And interest is optional, but if it will be relevant, you can add them. So these are the things you should include on your CV. So it will be different sections. So these are the sections you should include. How long should my CV be? So if it's resume, you should know it should be 1 or 2 pages. If it's CV, it should be 2 to 10 pages or more.
Or more.
So focus on concise, impactful information. Avoid unnecessary detail. So don't say in a bit to make it 2 pages. You're not putting unnecessary information. If it's just 1 page, it's fine. In fact, the lesser the better, as long as you can contain it, but you cannot extend it to 2 pages. But let it be something impactful. How do I tailor my CV for a job? I said you should tailor it. So how do you go about that? You should research about the job description or about the company. So when you research about the company and the job description, you're able to know what and what to include in the CV. So that's how to tailor it. Customize the profile summary. So adjust the profile summary if need be, so that it can fit well for the role you're applying for. I like the skill and project that are related to what you're applying, the role you're applying for. Rearrange the section if need be. So place relevant experience first and the necessary skill first. Handle employment gap. So some people have not worked for the past 5 years, for the past 10 years, and they're applying for jobs. So they don't want it to look like you have not worked for the past 5 years. So it might be a disadvantage to them. So how do you handle something like that? So in such cases, be honest. Briefly explain the gap in a positive light. So if at interview, they say, we look at your CV, so that in the past 5 years, you have not been working. So you can say, yes, it's true. However, I've been upskilling myself with those periods by furthering my education, by freelancing to work on freelance projects, by engaging in personal development. So that way, they know that you're not just idle for the past 5 years. So to come up with what you're doing with those people to develop yourself. So that can help to handle that. Highlight productivity. So mention any certification you have gotten during that period, or any volunteering you have done, or any skill that you have gained within that period. Focus on experience. Emphasize the value you bring rather than the gap. So focus more on what you have done to upskill yourself within that period. So that will help you to manage that aspect if you fall under that category. How do I handle lack of experience? I just finished that analysis, DevOps, cybersecurity. I don't have experience. How do I handle such? So highlight projects or internships where you applied your skill. So if you don't have work experience, volunteer, do internship. I share internship platform with some of us. Do them and put them. Your internship with KPMG, Accenture, PwC, MasterCard. That's already, compensate for lack of experience. The project you do in class, put it there as part of your experience with Tech 365. So all this can help you, to mitigate the lack of experience. Your church, your mosque, volunteer to help them analyze their data if they will allow you to. That can also serve as work experience. Reach out to NGO around you. Reach out to NGO online. Search for them on Google. Search for them on LinkedIn. Since it's not really about the pay, they will be willing to, allow you to work with them. Those will serve as work experience. Emphasize academic achievements. So if you are someone that have first class or something that is commendable, put it there. Certification, if you have, put it there. But again, don't just have certification without being able to solve problems. So certification is just like a plus. Be able to solve problems, that's key. But you having first class, if you have it, can also be a plus for you, even though you lack experience. Include skill section, listing tools, technologies, and methodologies that you know. So them knowing that you have worked with several tools, and you're able to specify how you, work on those tools can help them, give you some consideration. You can document your projects on GitHub, on LinkedIn, on Medium, in form of a blog. And you can reference that blog, so that they can see them. You can document them on YouTube, reference them to your YouTube channel, where you document all those, processes. It will be a plus for you. Emphasize more on your skill. So that means your skill will come up instead of your experience coming up first. So since that's what you have, so the one that will project you well is the one you should push up. The other one can go down. And if your grade is not too encouraged, maybe third class, you don't need to put grade. Just say graduate of so from so university. But if your grade is something that can be appealing, you can include your grade. Should I include a photo on my CV? Like I said, whatever I'm saying is not cast in stone, but I will say no, don't include your photo. So in some region in Europe, photos are common, but in other region, like the US, they are discouraged to avoid bias, because it means that you're a black person and that they may be biased towards you. So that's why you don't need to include your photo. If you are applying for creative role like graphic design, all of that, you can be creative and add photo and things like that. But for dev or data analysis, I don't think you need a photo. But if you want to still do it all the same, no problem. This is what I recommend. Don't put photo. Focus more on your skill and your experience and how they help them solve problems. It's not about your photo. They say your photo will be a plus and make them say, your photo, we are going to hire you based on that. How can I make my CV to stand out? I've said most of them already. So let it be clean. Quantify your achievements. That will make it stand out. You can put link to your GitHub, to your LinkedIn. So for the proof of the work you have done. Tailor your CV to the application to make it stand out. Use those keywords that are relevant to the role you're applying for. It will make you stand out. Arrange them in a proper way, well indented, enough white space, bullet points to make it to stand out. Should I include references You can say available on request. So you don't have to include your general overseer, your CV. Just tell them that references are available upon request. The reason is that in case they don't give you the job, you won't have given out those people's information, necessarily. Because some people are just doing CV harvesting, not that they really have job for you. So you don't have to include references. So if they need it, by the time they're interviewing you, they can ask you for it and you can provide them. Handling lack of formal education. So if you don't have BSc or MSc or PhD like some people among us do, so if you lack formal education, what you can do in that case is highlight relevant experience, certification, and project that you have done. So this should be your focus, since your the education section might not be a plus for you. So focus more on this. Focus on the skill that made the job requirement. So since this is what you have. So if self-taught, so if you're the one that learn on your own, emphasize more on portfolio, on your real work, the problem you have solved, the project you have done. So those are the things you focus more on if you lack formal education. So if I see that I want to have data analyst and you don't have BSc, but you have worked on Amazon projects, Uber projects, projects that are really, really solid, I might even overlook your qualification. But this is not to say that you should not still have it. It will be a plus for you. But if you don't have it, you should still apply. And simple that, are hired irrespective of their qualification. Should I include my hobbies? If they will add value, yes. If they will not add value, please keep your hobby to yourself. But if they will add value, you can add them. For example, if your hobby is leadership, teamwork, you can include them. Mentoring other developer, you can include them because they are a plus. How do I quantify my achievements? So I've talked about that. So just put them in context. So I improve system uptime by 25%, develop a mobile app with 50,000 downloads, reduce operational cost by $10,000 annually. If it is international job, if it is Nigerian job, you put it in Naira. All right, so let me quickly take some question on CV writing before we talk about job search techniques. So do you have any question that I did not answer
Yes, sir.
in the course of my talking? Go ahead.
All right, sir. Good evening, sir. So my question is on font size. You mentioned fonts, the kind of fonts you can use. What about font size? What is the acceptable font size?
Between 10 to 12 is fine.
Okay, all right. And secondly, sir, so including Tech 365 as part of the work experience, right? So what if I'm writing data analyst Tech 365? So am I writing as an intern? Am I putting apprenticeship in front, or what am I putting, or just data analyst?
That will depend on you. If you want to write intern, or just want to say
Hello, I
data
can't hear you
analyst.
again. It's network.
You can't hear me.
Okay. Okay, I can hear you now.
You can just say data analyst, Tech 365, Lagos, Nigeria. Then you specify the project you do
Hello.
afterwards. Others, can you hear me?
I can't hear you again. I don't know if I'm the only one.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, I think it should be from his end.
Sorry,
Kachuku,
sir,
please mute yourself.
I didn't get your response to the last question, sorry. I think the network was quite bad.
Okay, but can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now clearly.
So I said you can put data analyst, Tech 365, Lagos. Then the period you want to put there, you put it there. So you may not have to specify junior or intern or anything. But at interview, when they want you to now explain further, so if you feel that you want to break it down further, that okay, you were a volunteer or you were a junior, it's fine. But if you just want to say that you're a data analyst, that's okay. Now, this is what I'm saying is because if you say that you work as a staff there and they ask you to go and bring your pay slip for those periods, I may not be able to provide those pay slip. I hope you understand my point.
Okay.
So if you now want to say that you volunteer or you're a junior analyst or you're an intern and all of that, that's fine. But if just say you're a data analyst and you don't want to put further as per pay slip and all of that, it's also fine. I hope you understand that.
Okay, so sorry, sir, I'm a little bit confused. So what you're saying is that just like we have other work experience, data analyst, Tech 365, the duration, then the responsibilities, and of course the achievements, then that is enough.
Yeah, that's enough, yes.
Okay, so that cannot warrant them asking for payslip.
I'm not
Because
saying
that's
at the point of interview, if they
interview.
now ask further. Now, this is what I'm saying,
Okay.
the space specifically is because some people have reached out to me, do that for them, which I was not able to do. So that's why I'm
Okay.
stating it. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, sir, it does.
All right. So again,
So,
they
sorry, sir.
shouldn't ask, but if they do, just let them know that. Okay, go ahead.
So, sir, at the point of interview, the best shot at explaining or breaking down the 365 experience and everything we have, the best shot at that should be volunteer. We should we at any point mention that we're in training at that point in time?
No, you don't have to mention that you're in training. So you can mention more of intern or volunteering. That's if they want to know it in detail. If they don't ask for detail like that, so just say, while at Tech 365, I do this and this and this. While at MasterCard, I do this, this and this and this. If they now want to ask for that, then you can now break it down. Okay, maybe for example, what's your role there? Were you a full-time staff? Were you on contract? So when they ask for that, then that may be when you can, explain further. I don't know if you get my point.
All right. Definitely, I do. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. Otherwise, just list them and then that should suffice. Any other question?
Yes,
Somebody
sir.
asked me. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so my question is, if you are applying for a job that specified like 5 years or 4 years experience, and you are just an entry level, you don't have even up to 1 year of practical work experience, in your professional summary, what should you do? That's one. Then another one is about interview. When you are asked that, are you legally for like remote roles? Are you legally eligible to work in social country? What should your response be? Because I know the question that follows it is, will you now in the future be requiring sponsorship for visa application? So that's what I wanted to find out.
So the first question about the second one is about working remote and if you are legal. The first one I'm trying to remember.
This one is like you are this professional summary.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember now. Years of experience. Okay. So what you can do in that case is if they say somebody must have 5 years experience. Now, sometimes the reason why they ask for that years of experience is because they want somebody who already know it, not somebody that will be coming to use them for experiments. So if you still want to apply all the same in your application, if it is via email, you can state it there that while I might not possess 5 years of experience, I have done a lot within the period of my experience to be able to even handle advanced and senior projects. Because why I'm saying this is because even those that claim 5 years, they may not meet up by the time they screen them. So that might say, okay, let's even give this one a chance. Let's see if you will be able to do something. And some of them might even lie that they don't have that 5 years that they claim. You two don't have it, but you are being sincere upfront. But your CV already showed that you have done, solid projects that already prove that this person, even though he might not have 5 years, he has done end-to-end projects that involve, all the tools. So you can still apply all the same. I'm going to show you a screenshot, which is similar to what you just asked me now. So apply all the same, but be open that you don't have that number of years of experience, but that your skill and the project you have worked on can compensate for that number of experience. If I want to hire you and you don't have up to 5, but you can demonstrate that you have worked on project that qualify you as a intermediate and advanced person, why not? And I believe I'm not the only one that will consider you for that. Then for the, are you legally permitted? If you are legally permitted, you tell them you are. If you are not legally permitted, then you tell them you are not. So I think that one is straightforward. So if you need a visa, if you can process it, that's fine. Or if they can process it for you. So just be plain. So if you are not legally permitted, don't say you are. Because if you say you are, how do you want to justify that? So just be upfront. And like I said, things like this, that you know that you want to work with international company and things like that, start positioning yourself, start getting international passport, start getting necessary things that will make that, process easier for you. If you know that you want to apply for 5 years experience project, start working on 5 years experience, start working on advanced project that will make you to be able to undo 5 years project. So be positioning yourself for what you desire. So that's key. So let's move on. If you have any other one, note them down. Before we wrap up, I will take them. So somebody asked me that why do people harvest CV? There are good people, there are bad people. So there are bad people that they don't have any job to offer you. You just want to harvest your data. So you don't have control over that. Just like all these GNLD, Forever Living products, and all these funny MLM companies that will advertise job. And when you get there, they will tell you, you become a marketer for them, all these funny people. So you also fall on that category. Now, some, they will offer unreasonable salary, but they will not target people in US, people in UK. What they want is they want your address, they want your email, they want your phone number so that they can use it to defraud and use your detail as the person that did it. So whenever you're applying for a job, as much as I know you are looking for a job, research the company you're applying to. So you see a job from O&O Tech in UK. Go online, Google O&O Tech. Find out that their company, read up about them. Type on Google, fraud, O&O, scam, O&O, in case anybody has said they are scam people before now, things like that. So do your own due diligence as well. Don't just apply blindly. Even though I know that you desire a job, there are some fake people as well. So, and those that are not fake, they might just waste your time. You do interview, they will give you different projects to be doing as screening. They will screen you with this one, you finish it. Do end-to-end project again, you finish it. They're just need to do their own work, even though they will not hire you at the end of the day. So that way you're able to screen out those unserious fellows so that you don't waste your time. Me, I don't believe in falsifying years of experience. But if you're okay with it and you can defend it, no problem. I hope that answers your question. But again, what matters is you have the hands-on experience. So that's why I said, focus more on what you have, which is the project you have done. Put them there. By the time you see that you have done end-to-end project, you work with Grafana, Prometheus, Ansible, Jenkins, Docker, you already show that you are competent. And you also refer them to your LinkedIn or your GitHub to see all those projects there. And they see all your documentation, how you document everything step by step with screenshots, they know that this person, is convincing. Now, that's why I said having a blog can be a plus because somebody can read your blog. By the time they read your blog, they will see that, this person that I've done this project, that I've done this project, it shows that this person knows what he's doing. If you remember, I sent about 10 projects or 5 projects or 15 projects to you that you should do. Depending on put that project on that platform, I am sure you will take him as a senior person. And that person might be a beginner like you. It might just be the project that he's doing that is posting there. So if you are posting your own project there and they want to hire you and you put your blog there, by the time they go through the blog and they see the things you have done, they will give you a chance. And if it is YouTube that you like, you are talking about the project you have done, you know, them seeing those things, they may even reach out to you that you have even applying for job. It has happened to me. I didn't apply for job. People reaching out to me, they've seen my profile, they want to offer me job. I will tell them I'm not looking for job. So you putting all the things you are doing out there can increase your chance. It might even make them to reach out to you, not you even going after them now. I'm not saying that you should not still apply, but I'm just saying that you can either push or pull. So when you put what you are doing out there, you are pulling. But when you are the one applying, you are the one pushing. So both are important. But pulling gives you an edge. So put what you are doing out there, it will increase your chances. So job search techniques. So the first step is define your career goal. What is your goal? What's your goal? That's what will influence any decision or any steps you are going to take. What's your goal? So before starting your job search, before searching for job, know your goal first. When purpose is not known, abyss is inevitable. So when you don't know where you are going, you will not even know how to get there. So know your career goal. Identify what role do you want to apply for. Which industry will you like to work? Is it fintech? Is it education? Is it agri? Is it medical industry? You know, what industry are you, is it entertainment? That will even influence what type of project you should do. The role you want to apply for will influence the kind of project you should do. The type of company you want to work for will influence the type of project you should do. Evaluate your skill, your interest, and your strengths. The role you want to apply for, what skill gap are you having? What are the areas you need to improve on? What strengths, do you have? What interests do you have that align with your career goal? So if you want to work with fintech, so you have to find a way to work on projects that are fintech related. If you want to work with government, you can look at any other NGO that are related to what the parastatal that are into. So that can help. So example, maybe you like to work with what aspect can I use as example now? So let's say Nigerian police, just for an example. So Nigerian police are more of uniform people. So you can work for security companies. So you can analyze data for security companies. You can build a software for them. You can do cybersecurity for them, so that they will see that you have done something related to that industry before. If you want to work in educational system, look for any school that you can work for, even if it is free. So that when you apply to those educational organizations, maybe university or other institution, at least you have something related. So I hope that helps. Set realistic short-term and long-term goals. So have a short-term goal, what you want to achieve within a short term, and what you want to achieve within a long term. So don't just have a short-term goal alone. You should have long-term goal. So long-term goal might be, I want to be a rounded person, but my short-term goal is to focus on front end. Then afterwards, I'll move to back end. Afterwards, I'll move to DevOps. Afterwards, I'll move to like that. Short-term goal might be data analysis. Afterwards, I'll move to machine learning. Afterwards, I'll move to data engineering. Afterwards, I'll move to AI. So you can have short-term and long-term goal. Because, things keep evolving. So the more tools you have in your belt, the more your chances. So because if front-end job doesn't come, back-end might come. If DevOps doesn't come, software might come. If data analysis doesn't come, machine learning might come. If machine learning doesn't come, data analysis might come. Or AI might come. So having more options will increase your chances. So those might be long-term and you might have short-term as well. Build professional resume, which we have talked about extensively tonight already. So leverage on job portal. So you can go and search for jobs on LinkedIn. You can see data analyst in Lagos. So then I want it to be remote. You can specify. Experience level, you can specify. So you can filter it based on, what appeals to you. You can even say set alert. Alert means anytime somebody posts a job that meets your criteria, that is within Nigeria, that is remote, you will receive an alert on LinkedIn. So then just click on the notification, it will now take you to the job. So I receive alerts for different jobs like engineering job and so on, even though I'm not looking for job. So you can do the same thing as well. So just go on LinkedIn, search for the job, put your criteria, click on this set alert. So you can do that for LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, Monster, Angel Lists for startups. So set up job alerts for positions that match your preference. I've talked about that already. Regularly update your CV. So from time to time, as you acquire more skill, you update it in your CV. Because I've seen somebody that apply for a role. I look at the CV. What he claimed to know is not in the CV. I told him that you claim to know this, but it's not in your CV. Say, oh, that he has not updated the CV. Then why do you send it to me? So some people will not be patient to even give you feedback that is not updated. And have your CV handy. So you can have it in your email. So anytime you need it, you just download it and send, or you send it to you forward it to the person. So when you forward your email, remember to delete all the forwarding information. Delete all of that and just let it be fresh. That's the body be fresh and right. Then even the forward title, subject, delete it and write as if you are sending to the person afresh. Then network effectively. So to get a job, you need to network with people. Don't keep to yourself. There are many people that they don't talk to people, they don't talk online, they are just silent behind the scene. How will people know that you are looking for a job? How will they know that you have the skill? So be loud, talk about what you do online. Post. If you have a particular profile that you don't want to use, maybe because of your company or whatever, create another profile and be doing all your data analysis there, your DevOps there, your software there. Then that's the one you'll be sending to people when you apply for job. So let them see that someone that is passionate about what you claim to be doing. So attend networking events, attend webinar like this, attend job fair. I've seen Jobberman do job fair. I've seen Covenant Christian Center do job fair and some other organization like that. Attend. You might meet people that, be of help. While I was on campus, while browsing the internet, I saw an event and I attended. To that event, this is over 10 years ago now. The person I met at that event, we are still close pals till today. So event can help you build quality relationship, either online event or physical event. I join LinkedIn groups. So on LinkedIn, just search for data analysis or software development, whatever you are into, cybersecurity, you will see different groups that will come up. Join those groups. They post jobs in those groups. They post tips, things that are useful to you. So joining those groups can be helpful to you. Inform your professional and personal contacts about your job search. Tell your friends, tell your colleagues, tell your people that have your interests at heart. Let them know that you are available for jobs. Because they may see jobs, but they don't know you are looking for such. So let everybody that knows you know that you are into this thing, so that when they see opportunity, they can reach out to you. That's how I executed most jobs. It's through referral. Build relationship with recruiters and hiring manager. If you want to work with a company, let's say Flutterwave, go on Google and go on LinkedIn and say work at Flutterwave. Enter. You see different staff that say they work at Flutterwave. Look at their position, the one that are decision maker, maybe HR or talent manager or something like that, and reach out to them. You may be surprised that they may consider you. I've seen several people that have done it and it worked out for them. So this is an example of what I just said now. Use LinkedIn strategically. So look at this guy. So he said 2 years ago, I took a leap of faith. I sent a cold email. Cold email means unsolicited email. They are not hiring, but you just send it. So a cold email to a company I really wanted to work for. That's why I said, have the goal. What kind of company, industry do you want to work for? So that will influence how you should prepare yourself, the kind of things you should be doing now. Then minutes later, I got a response. Fast forward, it's been one hell of a ride. Challenging, rewarding, and so worth it. And he put some dollars there. So the pay is also good. So this is the mail he sent. He said, hello, hiring manager. I am Leslie Ganfi. I got your information from Twitter. I am interested in joining your company as a data analyst, DevOps engineer, software developer, cybersecurity engineer, mobile app developer. I am confident that I will be an asset to Tech 365 because I have excellent communication, teamwork, organizational, and creative skills that are the foundation of your company. I also have an in-depth knowledge of SQL, Dart, Flutter, Firebase for my 3 years of experience practicing the skill as a technical DevOps engineer at Tech 365 and then at RCCG. I noticed that your product is being used by top companies like Amazon, Tesla, and so on. I'll be glad to get an opportunity to work here, to work there. I have also been excited to work with you since your product play a very crucial role in today's day and age. So it shows that the person is also interested in the company, what they are doing, and not just being desperate for the job. I'd love to schedule a time to meet up with you and discuss my suitability for the role, if and when it aligns with your schedule. Please feel free to reach me here. Thank you for being as considerate. I can't say that other part well. But at least you have an idea of what the person is trying to say. If possible, you can say, yeah, project I've worked on. So you list them and you can put the link there. Let them see that you have done amazing things. So that might also connect more with them. So they are not hiring. So that means this person have 0 competitor. It's likely to be the only one that did this to this company. So your chances are higher compared to when they're hiring and 10,000 people applied. So that one, your chances are slim. So if I'm looking for a job, this would be the approach I would do. So at least if I do this for like 10 organizations, I should say at least 1 or 2 that will respond back, especially if I demonstrated that I'm a good fit. So you can use ChatGPT to come up with this. Remember, when you're coming from ChatGPT, remember not to put, I believe if you do what I said above, you get a good response. They will know that it's AI that suggested it for you. So don't do copy and paste. Don't be like someone that asks for punchline to propose to a lady and you copy both the part that ChatGPT said that I believe that the lady will be interested in you by the time you send her this information above. The lady already knew that it was ChatGPT that gave the person the idea. So create a complete and professional LinkedIn profile. So if you go on LinkedIn, look at people that you admire, look at their LinkedIn profile. You can learn from there. I pasted recently bio generator for LinkedIn, so you can use something like that. Then use professional profile picture. Look at this guy picture. This is his Twitter picture. I recommend use something more professional. But like I said, it's not a rule. Even though it doesn't use something professional, you may still consider him. But again, I recommend use something professional. So use a professional photo and a compelling headline. So use keywords. I try as much as possible not to use specific examples so that some people they just use copy and paste. They don't always take initiative. So any example I'm showing you, use them, adjust them to your taste. You don't have to use exactly as I'm saying it. So if I go to my own profile as an example, so you can see lead trainer at Tech 365. And here I'm interested in is AI, DevOps, data science, and software engineering. And over 5,000 people have been trained in 8 countries. So anybody that I applied to train their staff, they see that I've trained over 5,000 people and they see my area of expertise. So yours might not be about those that you have trained. It might be you have worked on over 10 advanced projects, or whatever you want to do. Then under here, you can see about me here. So you can use that about generator to generate something like this. So you don't have to copy and paste my own. I remember when I show my website to some of my students, he copy all the content on the website as his own web content, which to me does not make sense. It's just to give you a guide. You don't have to use it, word for word. Then you can see at the top here, I already have a picture of training people. So for you, use a picture that is related to what you are doing. If it's data analysis, you can even put logos of things that the tools you use. Logo of Excel, Power BI, Python, SQL. If it's DevOps, you can put Kubernetes, Docker, Ansible, all of those things. If it's cybersecurity, you put all those tools there. So that can help. Check the mentoring group, the committee I put you to. I added you. Check it. I pasted the link there in the community. Be checking the community from time to time. That's the purpose of the community setting it up, is to be sharing valuable information with you there. Since I cannot be calling everybody to be telling them one by one. Showcase your work experience, your certification, certificate of completion, and the project you have done on your LinkedIn, not your CV now, on your LinkedIn. Actively engage by commenting on posts. There are people that are senior data analysts that work for big companies. Be commenting on their posts. Be saying, I agree with you. Just like I also experienced in the project I did recently that this and this and this and this, just commenting can be a plus. Somebody can see your comments and reach out to you or send you friend requests. You cannot tell what opportunity can come up. So influencers in your industry, try and connect with them. So you can say, oh, how do I know influencers? So you can come here and say, senior DevOps engineer. If you want a particular location and say in USA, if you don't want particular location, you can just senior DevOps engineer. Press enter. So you see, this person work at CUDA. So you can check it out. This is PAMPay. So if you're somebody that want to work on fintech, so okay, this is job, sorry. So I'll say people. So you can see this person is a senior iOS developer, senior software engineer, senior DevOps engineer. So you can connect with them. So you can see senior DevOps engineer, senior DevOps engineer, senior DevOps engineer. You can connect with them. In their company, there may be open opportunity and they posted it. If you don't connect with them, you will not see it. Or you can even reach out to them personally, just like this screenshot I share with you. Something like this. That your company, they are looking for people. I'm available. This is my skill. I've done this project. I've done this project. Things like that. And whenever the person posts, you might want to engage with the person, oh, congratulations on this, and something like that. So you can apply on their website as well. So if you have access to their website, you can apply. If you have access to their email, you can apply. Or you can apply through influencer, which I just showed you just now. So look for positions that match your skill and your experience. I've said it, you can filter it out. You can choose location, you can choose experience level, you can choose, based on the criteria that you want, like I did here. Yeah. So you can use this criteria, whether you want remote, you want physical, you want outside Nigeria, within Nigeria, you want junior level, senior level, you can filter all of that. Indeed, make use of it. There are a lot of jobs there. LinkedIn, there are a lot of jobs there. So leverage your alumni network. Alumni can be 35 alumni, or it can even be your school alumni, or it can be your church youth group or any organization that you belong to. Rotary Club, all those NGOs can also be valuable. JCI, what's the name of this organization? She Leads, Women in Tech, Global Shaper. So there are all these groups that you can join. World Youth, what do they call it now? World Global Youth, something like that. So you can join all these groups. You know, they share opportunities from time to time. Even opportunity that will take you outside Nigeria. Yearly network. You can join groups like that. Mandela, Washington, you know, programs. So you can join them. Then upskill and reskill. So if you are seeing different CVs, different job description, and they're hammering on, you must know DevOps. You must, even though you're a software person, they are hammering on, you must know Docker, you must know Kubernetes. Then you have to upskill so that you can increase your chances. If they are saying you're a DevOps engineer, you should know how software are built. If you're interested, you can upskill and and acquire that. Even though you don't use it, at least it will be a plus, for you. So if you see some certain gaps, you can upskill and add that to your knowledge. If you're a data analyst and you are seeing more of, you must know machine learning, then you can upskill and add that to your tools. If you know certain skills frequently in job posting, consider learning them. Take relevant courses, certification. So if you are seeing that they are saying you must be certified in this, certified in this, certified in this. If it's becoming frequent, you might want to consider, upskilling in that area. So always highlight your new skill in your social media profile or in your CV. So your social media, your LinkedIn, let it be, busy with what you are doing. I see few of us, we do that well. So whenever they tell me they have gotten job, I'm not always surprised. Because I already see that they are positioning themselves well, with things they post on their LinkedIn. They join different groups, they engage with other people. So that will help. As again, you just keep it to yourself and just expect a magic. Nobody will knock on your door and say, I have a job for you, if they don't know that you have that skill. So talk about what you do online. Create an online portfolio. If you can, you can create a personal website. If you cannot, use your GitHub. For those that are into UX design, you can use Behance. You can create your portfolio so that you can use as a reference. To include case studies that you have worked on, different projects you have worked on. If people have given you feedback, those that have worked on, so you can share that as testimony. I work for this NGO, this is what they have to say. I work for this for this school, this is the feedback they have to say. That can also help. Somebody even included the contact of his former employer, that his employer was so happy about his performance that they said this and this and this, that I can even reach out to them to confirm how valuable it was to the company. That is enough to convince me, because you can't be so confident that you contact your former employer if you are not that good. Provide link to your portfolio in your resume. If you don't have past employer, it can be past organization that you have volunteered for. I did not style this part, but the concept is the same. So research about the company, like I said, use the STAR model. If they are interviewing you, ensure you dress professionally. And you can follow up with email, even though this is not for interview, but at least it's just additional tips that you can go away with. Volunteer or freelance, like I said, even though you are not getting job on time, through your volunteering, you gain more experience that can put on your CV to increase your chances of getting job. Through volunteering, they can even hire you and retain you. Through volunteering, you can even meet people that will connect you to other opportunities. So you can gain experience through volunteering or through freelancing. You can freelance on Upwork, on Fiverr, on TopTal. Of course, those have their own bottleneck, but if you can give it a shot. Then you can put them in your CV. Set your job search goal. Just like I said at the beginning, you must have a goal. So how many jobs do you want to apply for on a weekly basis? How many hours do you want to spend to network with people, to make research, to follow up on the job you have applied for? So track, so you can list the company you apply for, when you apply, and the ones that have gotten back to you. So that when scammers send you you have been hired, even though you did not apply for such job, you'll be able to detect because you are keeping track of organization that you're applying for. Stay positive and resilience. It can be challenging if you apply and you're not getting, hired immediately, but don't give up, don't be discouraged. Use that period to keep upskilling yourself, while you wait for that opportunity. If you are having burnout, you can just, unwind, take time to relax, then you resume back. Learn from rejection and refine your approach. So sometimes some of them might tell you why you are not being considered. If they say it's because a lot of people apply, that one is not your fault. 1,000 people cannot apply for a job for 2 people. So they can never, pick everybody. So in that case, it's not your fault. If they say that we do not consider because you don't have experience in so and so, if you feel it's something you can pick up, you can pick it up so that next time such will not be a challenge to you. And also, if you apply to a company and they do not pick you, later on, if you like that company, you can still apply again. Who knows? The person they pick that time might not perform up to their expectation and they are looking for another person. And you might just come at the right time. Or that person have seen higher salary and resign. And you might just come at the right time. So don't feel that because they didn't pick you, you cannot still apply at another time. That other time you apply might just be coincidental to when the other person has jackpot or something. So you will not see that one they will not teach you that one in school, but it's a plus that you have gained tonight. Follow up on your application. When you apply, don't just say they like, let them contact me. Follow up. Oh, I applied for this position. I'm just following up to know whether they've picked a period where the interview will be done, something like that. That you observe that their company just launch another product that you are so excited. You look forward to when you will join the team to also contribute to, the progress of the organization. So work with recruitment agencies. There are some agencies that they are just for recruitment, like this popular one. What's the name of this company?
ICS.
ICS, there's Jobama, there are several of them. So, or you can just Google them. Recruitment agencies in Lagos, in Nigeria. Jobman, Jobmark, there are a lot of them. Philip Consulting, so there are several of them. So you can just Google them. Recruitment agencies. They are the one that's hire on behalf of organizations, on behalf of banks and so on. So you can reach out to them and let them know the skills you have, that you are willing to share percentage of your salary with them if they will help you, to land a job. If they consider it, of course, the pay might not be that much at the beginning, but at least it will give you that opening that you need, which you can now leverage on for higher opportunity. Provide them with your updated resume and career references if they request for it. Follow up regularly to stay top of mind for any opportunity. So, frequently asked question, why am I not getting any response to my job application? So you have applied for a job, but you are not getting response. It may be because you do not tailor your application. So what they ask you for, you don't put it in your CV, they will not contact you. You did not optimize it for 8 years. I've said that you optimize it for, let it have those keywords. Docker, Kubernetes, SQL, Python, Power BI, let it have those keywords. Metasploit, all those terms. Check application accuracy. So verify that your contact detail and formatting are accurate. So maybe they try to reach out to you, the phone number is saying switch off or not reachable. They may not be patient to keep reaching out to you again and again. Or the mail they sent to you went to your spam. So you might need to be checking your spam. Managers are few through referrals, so connect more with people. So sometimes organizations will not post vacancy publicly. They just tell people they know that, in case you see somebody that knows it, that knows this, please let me know. I also do it sometimes. That, if you have someone that can teach this and this, you can let me know. So that might be why you are not getting response. Maybe because you didn't optimize it for 8 years, those keywords are lacking, your contact details having issue, or more people apply than they envisage, or you not tailor your CV to their need, or you are not connecting with people who can refer you to direct opportunities directly. So that might be why you are not getting the response you desire. How do I find jobs in a competitive market? I've said that before. Leverage on your network, target a particular niche. So using those specific job boards like LinkedIn, like Indeed, use them to search for specific job. Inform your friends, your family member, your colleagues, those that are your senior, inform them so that when opportunity open, they will remember you. Then ensure that you keep upskilling as necessary. How do I handle lack of experience in my desired field? I think I've talked about that. Highlight your transferable skills, showcase your projects, get certification to compensate for lack of experience. Do internship or volunteering. I've talked about that. Should I apply for a job if I don't meet all the requirements? The answer is yes. In fact, 99% of the time, you will not meet 100% of what they require. But as long as you meet above average, you meet like 70% of the requirements, please go ahead, shoot your shot. Because chances are that others too, they will not meet 100%. So don't think because you not tick all the boxes, you should not apply. Example, if you apply for data analysis and they said you must know Tableau, and you don't know Tableau, apply. At least you know Power BI. They say you must know for DevOps now. If they say you must know so maybe GitLab. You don't know GitLab, but you know GitHub. You do the same thing, apply. You know, things like that that you may not have, but at least you have other related ones. So go ahead and apply. Emphasize your transferable skill. Now, even though you didn't have this particular one, because of this and this that you have, you can easily, compensate for that part or catch up. Use cover letter to explain your unique skill and experiences that make you a great fit. Okay, we spent 2 hours already. How do I find jobs in a new industry or a career path? Speak to professionals in your desired industries. Gain relevant training. Gain relevant highlight your transferable skill, your leadership skill, your problem solving skill. They are relevant, so they can be useful. Target entry level role to be open to starting at a lower pay to gain experience. If you see a company that will give you opportunity to grow in terms of learning, and build yourself, but their pay is not high, as an entry level person, take it. Yes, you might not be paid well, but you will get that hands-on that you need, that boosting of your CV that you need. So sometimes don't focus on the pay at the beginning. Focus on that opportunity that I can leverage on for higher one. Example, instead of full stack, it might just be front end. So apply for front end alone, get it, use it to leverage and apply for full stack afterwards. Okay, how do I prepare for interview? Like I said, today is not for interview, but research about the company, practice, common interview questions, prepare for possible questions that you may be asked, then review your resume very well to be sure that it meets, what is expected. How can I improve my networking efforts? Engage on LinkedIn. Don't just be to yourself. Comment, join different group, be involved. Go to meetups. I've said this before. Now, offer value. Share valuable things. The little you know on DevOps, be sharing it on LinkedIn. Talk about what is Docker, what problem does Docker solve, why it is useful. Share the valuable, information with people. I don't know what to share. Go to ChatGPT. Tell it to tell you what to share and share it. Then do it consistently. Don't just do it for 1 week just because Mr. Wale say it. You are not doing consistent for 1 week. After 1 week, nobody hire me and you stop. It doesn't work like that. You have to do it consistently. Even after getting job, continue to do it so that I attract higher opportunity. So it's not what I'm talking about is not just for those that are looking for job alone. Even if you have job, be considered about talking about the value that you offer. Except you are in a position that you don't even need job. Maybe you are a manager of your company, of the company you're working for, and you don't need any other opportunity. It's fine. But you talking about what you do, sharing valuable information consistently will position you for higher opportunity. What do I do if I'm not offered a job? If I'm offered a job, I'm unsure of. So maybe you offer a job, but you're not sure whether I should take the job. You're not really convinced about the job. Evaluate the job. Consider the salary they offer you, any other benefit attached. If it's a job that you have to work morning till night, and you will not have time for adding value to yourself. Does there have opportunity for you to grow? So evaluate it. Research about the company. Look at people's review. Look at the employee in that company. Do they look like the kind of people that you want to become? Ask questions during interview. Okay, if I'm hired for this role in the next 1 month, what will I be expected to do? Be free. How often should I expect salary raise? Ask questions that you feel is a concern to you. But of course, don't make it look as if you also after money, alone, so that it doesn't also turn them off. This person, if you see higher money now, will leave us. Trust your instinct. If it doesn't feel right, it's okay to decline respectfully. So if your instinct is saying that don't take this job, even though it look exciting, sometimes your instinct might be right. How do I follow up on a job application or interview? Send a polite email, express gratitude. Example, there the name of the person if you know the name, or HR if you don't know the name. Thank you for considering my application for the position of data analyst, DevOps engineer, software developer, cybersecurity. I want to follow up to check on the status of my application. I express my continued interest in joining your team. Please let me know if you need any additional information. Best regards, Wale Olajumoke. Of course, you put your name there. How do I negotiate salary or benefits? Research market rates. So research about how much data analysts earn, whether from people that you know, or from online, or from LinkedIn. Be confident. Clearly state your desired range based on your research. So they ask, how much are we supposed to pay you? So if the range, if the salary you see online is, let's say, 200K, you can say, or you can pay me between 200 to 300. So you don't have to specify a particular amount. So you give them a range. If you tell them that, can I know how much you pay for this role? If they are willing to say, fine. They're not willing to say, you tell them confidently the range. Don't give a particular figure. Give them a range. So that if you give a figure, that figure might be low. They will pay you that low amount. That figure might be too high. They may run away. But if you give them a range, at least you are not too low, you are not too high. You can pick in between. Focus on value. Emphasize on your skill and your experience to justify your request. Negotiate beyond salary. If salary is not flexible, maybe they say that this is how much we can pay you. So ask them, okay, can I work remotely for some days? Does your company offer upgrade training? Like, will I be, is there an opportunity for me to attend advanced training? Is there vacation, all of that? So beyond the salary, you can ask for any other benefits. How can I stay motivated doing job search? Set goals. Take some break, like I said earlier. Celebrate small win. You completing this DevOps training is a win on its own. Completing that analysis training is a win. So be encouraged that at least I completed the training. That's one. Then being invited for an interview is another win. Whether they hire you at the end of the day or not, at least being considered, it shows that you have something they see in you. Then you improve on that. Seek for support. Share your journey with friends, with mentor. Oh, I've been applying, but these are the challenges I'm facing. They may have some insights or some guidance to provide. So I think we can stop here. So do you have any question before we call it today? Any question? I hope we find this session helpful. Are we there? Do you have any question? Emmanuel Adeoluwa said the session is boring.
Oh,
Caleb.
sorry, go ahead.
I didn't say that to Mr. Wale. I said the lecture is very insightful and nice. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Wale, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, on GitHub, I think when you were going over the presentation, you said we shouldn't post projects, is there, let me put it this way. On our GitHub, you have the public and the private repo. As much as we want to show that we have something going on GitHub, do you recommend that, projects that are not serious, that are just, like personal practice projects, should we put them in private repos?
Yes, that's what I recommend.
Okay. Do employers go to GitHub to look at your projects, like the public projects?
Yes, especially for DevOps Pro, they do. Yeah, they do.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is that at the beginning, now that you're still a beginner, of course, we're putting everything there. But as you're not doing, you are targeting higher role. So as you're not doing advanced projects. So the old ones that are beginner, you'll be hiding them and be leaving the advanced ones. Hope you get my point.
Yeah. So the question I have is that the one that are not advanced, let's say sometimes you practice, you want to do something simple. Now, the ones that are not advanced, we can put them in private repo. It will show that we are still working on DevOps, but they won't see what we are doing, correct?
Yeah, they won't see anything private. You can be working on that one on your own. They won't see it.
Yes. Okay. And that calendar thing on the bottom will show that it will indicate that you are working.
Yes, it indicates that you are working. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
It's better to have 3 solid projects than have 500 beginner projects. So it's not about the quantity, it's also about the quality. Like I said, if I'm hiring for mid-level or senior level, and I'm seeing to do app, I'm seeing weather app, I'll just close your browser. Except I'm hiring for intern that is a beginner. But if I'm hiring somebody that wants to be working with me, I won't expect you to be doing to do app, to do weather app. Even though I know it's for learning purpose. As I said, hide those ones. They are for your personal learning. The one you should be putting there is the one that meets the kind of job that you are seeking for. Okay, Ola, okay, go ahead.
Okay, let's say somebody has you want to have some portfolio on you have to have some portfolio as a DevOps person, and probably at the same time have some portfolio maybe as a data analyst. I know GitHub is good for DevOps. Can we also use GitHub for data analysis, or what kind of portfolio is good for maybe like 1 or 2 type of field? Is it possible?
I would advise you should have 2 GitHub accounts and 2 LinkedIn accounts. The one for DevOps, you're using it for DevOps. The one for data analysis, you're using it for data analysis. So that when you apply for data analysis, you send them the link of the one for data analysis. When you apply for DevOps, you send them the link of DevOps. That would be what I would recommend. But if you feel you want to match them together into the same repo, no problem. Does that answer your question?
So two GitHub, 2 LinkedIn accounts. That's what you're saying?
That's what I'm recommending. Like I said, it's not cast in stone, but that's my recommendation. The reason is that when you're applying for data analysis, let them see that you are doing data analysis. Hope you get my point. You're applying for DevOps. I go and check your profile. I'm seeing data analysis. To me, you are not a DevOps person now. So that's why I'm recommending it that way. But if you can maintain a balance between the two, no problem.
Okay. You also mentioned about generator, about your LinkedIn about generator. What's that one? Is it like AI?
It's a website. You just say, I am a data analyst. It will not generate how you should write it in your LinkedIn. Just go to the group and click the link. It's self-explanatory.
Okay. So it's on our group?
Yeah, the WhatsApp The DevOps WhatsApp group, check it, it's there.
Okay.
Or you
Okay,
ask other
thank
people
you.
in the group. Yeah. At this site, we can get more tools and complete more advanced projects. YouTube, there are advanced projects on YouTube, either for data analysis, either for DevOps, either for software. There are advanced projects there. Just Google advanced project for whatever you want. For data analysis, for DevOps, for software development, they are all on YouTube. Or you can use other platforms like Udemy as well. Or you can use Medium. There are advanced projects on Medium as well. You can use Google. You can use ChatGPT. ChatGPT, give me advanced DevOps projects. It will list them for you. Then tell it to give you step by step how to execute them. ChatGPT can do that for you. So it will even give you the one that might not even be on other platforms. So I hope that answers your question. Use YouTube, use ChatGPT, use Udemy, use Google, use Medium. Just combine all these platforms. But a lot are on YouTube that can help you. Treasure, go ahead. Okay, while we wait for Treasure.
Good evening, sir.
Okay,
Good
yeah,
evening,
go
sir.
ahead.
Good evening, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you, go ahead.
Okay, I want to ask a question as regard the building of a portfolio. So I want to know, can I just get a site, probably a public site, maybe a bank site or e-commerce site, let's say like Konga or Jumia, and I can use it, I can also build it to showcase the same the exact platform, but it's also looking like the same platform like Konga. Can I also use it to showcase my own portfolio? But I'm going to be the one to build it, but it's also going to look like a Konga site. Probably I'm getting the inspiration from looking at the Konga or Jumia site to build my own. So what is your own take on it? Is it
Yeah,
not
it's a
going to be
good,
like dubbing?
yeah, it's a good idea. But whenever you clone any website, customize it. Let's look a little different. Do you understand? Instead of saying Spotify clone, Netflix clone, call your own Caleb movie app or C movie, or give it a different name. Change the color, the arrangement, put some differences. Don't just make it exactly like that. Because whenever they see clone, you watch this one on YouTube. That's where you got it from. But when you tweak it a little, at least make it unique. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So you can do it, but add some different things there. Tweak it. Don't let it look exactly the same. So how do we differentiate between beginner projects and more advanced projects? You yourself, when you are doing it, you know this is an advanced project. You combine CI/CD pipeline with Terraform, with Kubernetes. That's an advanced project. So when I say beginner, things like so maybe how to run Nginx container. That's more of a beginner project. But when you're not saying, you are creating a pipeline to deploy an application or to deploy image of an application at the end of the day. So that's going into intermediate. So you can even tell ChatGPT, list beginner projects for DevOps for me, list intermediate, list advanced. That will also help you to clarify the difference between the two. But to be easy to know which is beginner, which is advanced. Beginner are usually less stressful and basic. Creating a calculator is a beginner software. But when you now do something like e-commerce, hotel management system, school management system, you already know that you are doing something that is advanced. I hope that answers your question. So I'll take 2 more questions, then we'll wrap up. Any other question?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Now, for DevOps, you want to include projects on your portfolio. However, you know that most DevOps projects we do require running maybe an online an infrastructure in cloud, maybe a server or whatever. So are you supposed to screenshot or I mean, if we say we want to leave the server running so that the employee can see what we have deployed, then it's going to be,
Become
the
as
cost
rich
is
as
going to be
Dangote.
outrageous. Hey, thank you. So how do we go about that?
Yeah. So that's why I said you can be blogging those projects. So those projects, write down the step-by-step you took with the screenshots, write it as a blog. So you can always reference this anytime. Or you can also put it on your GitHub and put documentation of what you went through, the screenshots and the likes. So that's how you can do that. Or you might record it and upload it to YouTube. So GitHub, document it on GitHub and shut it down. Document it as a blog on Medium, on DevTo. They are free. Document it on YouTube. Document it on LinkedIn. So those are different ways you can document your project. The same is applicable to data analysis as well. When you're done, you can screenshot those key areas, then document the process you went through, your insights, the outcome of the project at the end of the day. And if you copy the project online, try and tweak it. Try and add something that the person did online did not do. The dashboard that the person designed, tweak it, tweak the color, tweak some feature. Don't let it be exactly the way the person do it, and that's how you're uploading it online. So it might be others that have gone through that same project. They might easily see that, oh, this is the project that the person did. So as much as possible, tweak some things. It might be the software that the person used that you tweak and use another software for the DevOps project. It might be the tool the person used that you might tweak, and use another tool. So maybe, for example, somebody for this particular software, they use Azure. So you can use AWS instead. So just try and see things you can change just to make your own unique. Okay, one more person. Any other question? Or if you have any contribution, maybe from your experience, you have gotten a job, and this is what helped you, you can also share it. Do you have anyone or any other question before we call it a day? Okay, if there's no other question, so
Okay, well, 1 minute. There's something that came. Can I go?
yes, go ahead.
There was one time somebody was advising that if they ask, tell me about yourself, at that point you can just explain the project, a particular project that I have. Do you share that advice that, okay, let's say they ask you, tell me about yourself, and at that point you now did a breakdown of the project that you did? Is that the what do you say about?
I said today is not for job interview. That's for job interview. So when we are talking about job interview, I will talk about how to handle, tell me about yourself, and any other thing that are job interview related. So we didn't really delve into that because that's not our focus. So, but in summary, just to answer you, in our next meeting, I will address that in detail. So what you can just do in such case, okay, for example, if I apply for DevOps role and say, tell me about yourself, okay, my name is, it's more like that profile summary. My name is Wale Olajumoke. I am a detail-oriented DevOps engineer with experience working on different delivery and deployment. So I use tools like Jenkins, Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes. So just talk about you and how the skills you have and what you can do, especially as it relates to the position you're applying for. But like I said, when we do job interview, I will break it down more. But I hope that answer your question to some extent.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So just talk about who you are, your name, what you can do, the tools you can use, and the skills you have. Especially the one that are related to the position that you apply for. I've interviewed people before. I said, okay, tell me about yourself. Say, my name is so. I'm the last born of the family of 5. I'm from so local government. What do I want to do with all those information? So when you say, tell me about yourself, they want you to tell them why you are the right person for the position, not the position you are in your family lineage, or how many grandparents you have. That's not what they're asking for. All right, so thank you all for attending. So I will communicate the next date for our next webinar. So from time to time, we keep doing things like this to ensure that we keep ourselves fresh and we keep sharpening ourselves, and we can be able to maximize other opportunities that we seek. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a lovely
Thank you.
season.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.